Is Newcastle United's £156 million FFP jackpot boost under threat, following their four-match Premier League unbeaten run coming to an end after a disappointing 2-0 defeat to Crystal Palace at Selhurst Park?
Yeah, bad day for us. I thought we were disappointing today, especially in the first 60 minutes. I thought we were, excuse me, way off our levels at Tottenham and off our best levels today. I thought technically we didn't deliver a good performance. Out of possession, I don't think it was a particularly good performance either. So it's a day that we have to take our punishment, deal with it, and then try and improve.
From discussing the player performances to revealing the VAR exclusive.
And I've got to say, in all honesty, it's the biggest piece of dog shit.
To the Callum Wilson return. Join us as we break it all down and discuss the things we learned from Crystal Palace 2, Newcastle United 0.
Let's go!
Newcastle United's performance against Crystal Palace was heavily criticized due to their defensive vulnerabilities and poor individual displays. The omission of Michael Olise from the starting lineup, which initially seemed significant, turned out to be inconsequential as Palace didn't even need their in-form forward to dominate the match. Manager Eddie Howe attempted to counter Palace's threats on the wings by fielding a fluid 3-4-3 formation, similar to the one that worked well against Tottenham Hotspur in the previous game. Jacob Murphy and Elliot Anderson operated as wing-backs, but the setup didn't have the desired effect this time as shown but the field tilt as Newcastle were constantly pinned back. Newcastle quickly found themselves pinned back, and Murphy, who played as a right wing-back, had a disappointing performance compared to his impressive display against Spurs. His player match rating was the lowest at 6.3, and he appeared out of place in the role, failing to replicate his previous performance and playing a questionable part in Palace's opening goal. Emil Kraft also struggled to contain Palace's Eberechi Eze and had a rocky defensive display. Additionally, he did not always look comfortable on the ball.
Abiel, how disappointing was that result and performance tonight?
No, of course it's very disappointing. Like, we're coming from Tottenham 4-0 at home, great performance, and it seems like it doesn't really work tonight. We have to sit down and look back and see the game again, but of course we want a better result tonight.
You've dropped a place in the table because Manchester United won, but with 5 matches left, you're still in a really strong position, aren't you, as you challenge to try to get back into Europe?
Yeah, I mean, and that's our target as well. We want to finish top 5, top 6 to get Europe, and we have to play like the last 5 games. Now it's finals, all of them, and we have to need to take points in all of those games. Yeah.
And for you, it was a really long road back from the bad knee injury that you had, but you're starting matches, you're playing regularly. How important is that for you? And despite the result at Crystal Palace, how much are you enjoying playing regular football again?
No, I mean, I'm very happy be back playing football again. It's been a long road for me coming back from my injury. It was like more than a year I was injured. So now, of course, I'm happy be back playing, and I feel like for myself it feels better and better each game. The more minutes you play, the more confident you get and everything. Yeah, and of course I'm not happy with the result today, but we have to bounce back again next game, and we have to play like we have 5 finals left.
On a more positive note, Dan Burn, a defender born in Blyth, had a solid performance and did many things right individually. However, Fabian Schär was one of several players who fell far short of their usual standards. He was slow to react to situations and didn't display his usual composure in possession.
Lost a lot of duels, balls, and then it's difficult to come into the game. And overall it was just not good enough, not the level we want from ourselves, and then the results obviously speaks for itself, so really disappointing.
As you say, below par, but at the end of the game there was a real show of unity between the players and the fans. What would be your message for them going into a really big final 5 games?
Yeah, I mean, their support is always there, we know that, and we know the impact for us is huge, so we need them, and we will leave our hearts on the pitch. every game. I know what's still possible this season, and obviously we want to achieve certain things. So we have to do better. But as a club, as Newcastle United, I think we still have a chance for everything, and be disappointment today and learn, and then step up tomorrow and do it better.
In attack, the match at Selhurst Park between Crystal Palace and Newcastle United was expected to be a closely contested encounter, often resulting in low-scoring affairs. The lack of live broadcast coverage in the UK reflected this historical trend. However, there was anticipation that this match would be different, considering the form of the attacking trio: Alexander Isak, Anthony Gordon, and Harvey Barnes. In their previous 4 games, the trio had been directly involved in 13 goals. Despite this promise, on only their second start together, they struggled to make an impact. Eddie Howe had challenged these individually talented players to prove that they could work together consistently, but their chemistry was still developing. Early in the game, Sean Longstaff played a pass to send Harvey Barnes into space, but instead of shooting, Barnes opted for a backheel pass to set up Gordon. This decision hindered the opportunity to create a scoring chance. Isak, the record signing for Newcastle, received limited service and had his first chance on goal in the 30th when Bruno Guimaraes played a lofted ball over the top. But goalkeeper Dean Henderson rushed out to make a block. Disappointingly, it took until the 86th minute for Newcastle to finally test Henderson again. And even then, it was a relatively weak header from Elliot Anderson that the Palace goalkeeper comfortably dealt with. Despite this, there was a moment of madness as referee Thomas Bramall seemed poised to award a penalty when Will Hughes made contact with Sean Longstaff inside the box, just as Longstaff was preparing to shoot. Longstaff went down, but after a VAR review, no penalty was given.
A big moment in the second half though. Sean Longstaff went down in the box, and I think a lot of people thought that could have been a penalty.
Even their player thought it was a penalty, I think. So I think for me, obviously, what I saw was pretty clear, but and it would be a big moment in the game. It was 1-0, but we can't just blame obviously what happened. And overall, it wasn't good enough. Obviously, that could have changed the game, but the rest of the game was just not the level we want to be.
It now seems as if referees want Manchester United to secure that Europa Cup spot after recently unjustly helping them in getting to the FA Cup final.
I could see that as a very real possibility.
It's important to note that Newcastle United are on the brink of a £156 million jackpot as they are eyeing a major FFP boost. The club chiefs know that the difference between finishing 6th or 7th this term could be worth around £1.5 million. But achieving 6th place ahead of Manchester United would be worth around £156 million in total when it comes to prize money and TV broadcast payments. Then after the game, Eddie Howe said,
For us, I thought we were disappointing today, especially in the first 60 minutes. I thought we were, way off our levels at Tottenham and off our best levels today. I thought technically we didn't deliver a good performance. Out of possession, I don't think it was a particularly good performance either. So it's a day that we have to take our punishment, deal with it, and then try and improve from it.
I guess Crystal Palace will say both of their goals were well worked, but from your perspective, how did you see them?
Yeah, the opposite to that. I think we're a bit disappointed with our performance technically today, and it's probably epitomised by the 2 goals where we're disappointed with how we've given them the ball in those situations, and then how we've defended those situations, and that's led to the goals. And I think that the goals sort of sum up aspects of our performance where there was some good. There was lots of moments that could have led to opportunities. I thought we were a little bit slow to shoot today around the box. Our decision making around the box I thought was disappointing. So yeah, frustrating feeling because you know we're capable of much better than that.
However, in some good news, Callum Wilson's low-key return was great to see, and he might have a role to play in the final stretch of the season. Then finally, if you want to know the exciting news you didn't know regarding Sandro Tonali and Joe Linton, click the video link on screen now.